Encyclopedia Britannica, like the internet, but with an incredibly annoying spokeskid.
The following film has been made under the supervision of the Department of Office Administration Bureau and in accordance with strict kashrut rabbinical law, not to be taken internally.
Must be a sex education film.
So, emergency sex techniques.
Right, in case of a fire or a locust plague.
Sure.
Choking. Well, it still could be about sex in a Carradinian context.
Folks, if you're white, overweight, and have a beard made out of pubic hair, there's a very good chance you will choke to death at some point. This film is for you.
Now forget all those warnings and stuff your gob with fist-sized chunks of food.
Humans, hippos, goats,
And monkeys.
all in mortal danger of choking. Oh, and flamingos too. Let's see why.
Seems like a very reasonable bite size for a hippo. Eating thoughtfully.
So the message, compared to hippos, humans are pigs.
Yes, humanity, mindless gluttons, evolutionary cul-de-sac.
Paid for by elephants, we're better.
Everybody eats and drinks. Some fast, some slow.
Some while crying and muttering, "You'll love me tomorrow, Mommy, you'll love me tomorrow."
Of course, it does have to pass through the throat. Funny how often we forget about that until we choke.
I forgot how drinking works.
Only a minor annoyance. Happens every day.
No, see, I have to agree with Alan Moore that the whole Before Watchmen thing is shameless. I mean, I love Zack Snyder, don't get me wrong. But with all his resources, he still couldn't get the canon right. So how do you expect...
Many while eating.
Hey, we're discussing Watchmen here.
Thousands of people choke to death. Choking is the 7th highest cause of accidental death in the United States. And the sad thing is, many who die could have been saved.
Exactly like the end of Watchmen.
This is an X-ray of someone eating. We are looking at the mouth from the front.
Pretty gross, huh?
Watch the swallowing action in slow motion.
Yeah, this is like heroin for you fifth graders.
The person will try to swallow something too large for the throat.
Like a pretzel nugget or a whole goat.
If it gets stuck, the victim will be unable to breathe.
The victim, often known as the idiot.
Here is a model of the chest cavity, lungs, and the diaphragm. The balloons represent lungs.
And it doubles as a model nutsack. This machine also simulates shrinkage.
When we breathe, our diaphragm moves down and up.
Operated by the hand of God.
Piston-like action causes air to be forced into and out of the lungs. If something blocks the airway and we cannot cough it up, it can lead to an emergency.
Remember, gumdrops are the leading cause of pretend lung failure.
This is typically how it happens.
A man adopts his wife's hairstyle.
A pleasant meal, maybe an alcoholic beverage.
A line of meth.
Sometimes we just aren't thinking about the business of chewing our food properly.
True, food chewing is big business.
A large piece of meat just entered the man's mouth.
Or at least that's the excuse he told his wife.
Honey, not another chest burster. Damn it.
Now the air passage is completely cut off by the unchewed meat. He cannot speak or breathe or cough.
Or act,
If unable
really.
to breathe, the victim has only 4 to 6 minutes to live.
Let's watch his slow, horrible death.
He is powerless to help himself. With no air, he will soon turn blue and lose consciousness. Even now, his brain is being starved for oxygen. The victim is desperate. This woman can save his life if she knows the proper techniques.
Instead, she's teaching him the Latin hustle.
Situation. Remember, only 4 to 6 minutes.
Just enough time to create a will on LegalZoom. Brought to you by LegalZoom.
Watch now as paramedics demonstrate the techniques to be used in rescuing the choking victim.
We sure these are paramedics?
Begin with 4 back blows.
Yeah, he said back
If
blows, you two.
unsuccessful, apply 4 abdominal thrusts.
Start with a tender kiss.
Back blows dislodge a foreign body. Abdominal thrusts create air pressure to force it out.
Helpful if you have a Norwegian stuck in your throat.
Back blows are administered quickly and sharply.
Hey, buddy, old
Abdominal
pal.
thrusts should be a quick upward thrust.
Darling man.
Okay, so I think we got this. Thank you.
This choking victim has become unconscious.
And therefore lots of fun to play
The
with.
carotid artery indicates a heartbeat. The chest, however, does not rise during mouth-to-mouth resuscitation.
So give it up.
indicating
Go have a
the
beer.
airway may
You
be
did your
blocked.
best.
The rescuer quickly administers 4 quick, sharp back blows.
Struggling not to notice the firmly toned buttocks in view as he narrates.
The upper
Wait, did
abdomen
I
is
say that?
located between the ribs and the navel.
He died, so I took his shirt off.
4 quick upward thrusts are used.
All truck nuts are organically
Our
grown
mechanical
under
model
strict
illustrates the
conditions.
principles at work when rescuing a choking victim.
Make him a strawbertini.
Abdominal thrusts literally blow the object out.
2 red balloons sitting in a big glass jar.
If 4 thrusts are ineffective, pull the mouth open.
And turn into a disgusting
Obstruction
comic
may be within
strip.
reach of your finger. Be careful not to force the object deeper in the throat. Use a sweeping motion to remove it.
Narrator's former Cobra Kai.
Repeat the procedure until you are successful.
Or until you have a plan to dispose of the body.
The rescuer may either work from the side or straddle the victim.
Straddling is sexier, but may lead to an awkward post-choking relationship.
Variations on these techniques should be learned for victims who are obese or pregnant.
And, God forbid, both at once. I mean, who needs more fatties in the world? Come to think of it, never save anyone who is both obese and pregnant.
Mr. Narrator!
Quiet you, I'm watching attractive young men.
When rescuing children, abdominal thrusts are executed in this manner.
And this totally doesn't look like anything else
Notice the posture
manner.
of the child. Do not apply full force when practicing. Unnecessary injury could easily result.
And there could be one less adorable toe-headed moppet in the world.
On the unconscious child, the abdominal thrusts can be executed with one hand.
Leaving you an extra hand to tweet on your iPhone.
Saving dumb kid, LOL, hashtag dumb kid.
Remember, mouth-to-mouth ventilation is performed covering both the mouth and the nose of the infant.
Also applies to George Stephanopoulos.
Hold the child this way.
See, they dress the baby as a Turkish sailor. Nice.
For small infants, you may also use your fingertips.
At your fingertips, dying infant, one of ACI's
You yourself may be a
wackiest
choking
shorts.
victim when there is no one around to
Love those
rescue
guys.
you. Here are 2 ways to self-administer the abdominal
He better
thrust.
marry that chair when he's done.
Notice the position of the hands. Again, use common sense. Do not injure yourself practicing.
Unless you're into that. Who the hell am I to judge? I'm a narrator who loves watching this guy do this way too much.
Oh, yeah. Keep it up.
Honey.
Now, back to our earlier emergency.
You left in the middle of giving me
Back blows,
instructions, you
followed by
bastard!
4 abdominal thrusts.
Opa!
Are you as turned on as I am right now, honey?
Yeah, let's
May
do it
have
again.
saved his life. Would you have been able to do what she did? Prepare for such an emergency as this.
Move in with her.
Train under a qualified instructor. And most important, remember not to practice full force.
Is that really most
Although these
important?
techniques can save lives, they can also cause injury. Meanwhile,
Yep,
here
you
are
want to
some
catch
things
a
that
baby,
you can
there's
do
no better
without
bait than a
training.
cherry
Keep
tomato.
objects like this away from small children. Instruct children not to run with things in their mouth.
Grounded, you little...
Do not overindulge in alcoholic beverages while eating.
Ah, there's your deal breaker.
Slow down. Take your
I
time.
will go to my maker, choking and
Chew your
drunk.
food well. Cut your meat into small pieces.
Lose the stupid
It'll also
Apache
make you
tie.
feel better after
Sorry,
you eat if you
editorializing.
chew properly. Most important, remember, act fast.
I'm morally
4 to
safer.
6 minutes, and it may be too late. First, recognize the symptoms. The victim cannot speak, breathe, or cough.
But he can
Followed
sing!
by grasping his throat with his hand. If the victim is standing and conscious,
Ignore him.
4
He's
back
fine, he
blows,
just wants attention.
4 abdominal thrusts. Repeat the procedure until successful.
Or not. Just keeping it real. I'm the crazy narrator.
If possible, have someone call for help.
An odd-shaped phone works best.
If a choking victim is unconscious yet has a pulse, administer 4 back blows,
Trying not to stare at the tight jean bubble butt of the victim. Again, crazy narrator
4
here.
abdominal thrusts, and the finger probe.
Move aside the
Repeat
throat
these
turd.
procedures until you are able to ventilate or the victim begins to breathe on his own.
Like the lazy bastard should have been doing all along. That narrator, crazy!
Yet you can learn to save a life.
And only a real jerk would demand the money you owe them after you save their life.
The look of someone who just got told that the trip to the hot dog cart will be the entirety of their day.
Remember, when you think choking, think zany music, better suited for a cartoon bear and fox driving in a rickety old jalopy to go and swindle a nice old cartoon pig who lives alone because her husband died from choking.
My God, it all ties together.
Riff Tracks. Some movies have it coming. Riff Tracks. Copyright by Riff Tracks. All rights reserved. Unauthorized use or duplication is prohibited.